Hello everyone, Fishy Boy here. Today's video is not going to be a happy video per se. It is more of a awareness video. So let's get this started. So I have what is called PTSD. Now, PTSD stands for post-traumatic stress disorder. Some of the things that I deal with daily may not be normal to your day or to somebody else's day. PTSD also can be different from person to person. So, first things first, PTSD does not always come from serving veterans or people who have worked in the medical, in the emergency department per se, like a police department or a medical department or something like that. PTSD can occur among younger people. For example, I am 19, and PTSD can, like I said, PTSD can occur among younger people and older people. PTSD doesn't necessarily mean you're a failure of life or anything like that. Basically, with my PTSD, my symptoms are I have paranoia a lot. I have a lot of anxiety, a lot of depression. I also stay awake most of the time at night due to nightmares. So, in and of itself, those nightmares are flashbacks of what had happened to me. And so I can't sleep at night, so I prefer to keep myself awake all during the day just so I don't have to deal with those things. Not only that, but I also have a very bad problem with thinking, for example, that my past, i.e. abusers, abuser is going to come after me. There's going to be in my room. I can hear their voices in my head. It's a very difficult thing to live with. I can't even, for example, with mine, anything that is sexual with myself or with somebody else, I have a very hard time enjoying it. I get no enjoyment out of it. Like, sometimes I do, but very rarely. I also have a very hard time trusting friends, trusting good family members. I can't keep a relationship pretty much because of the panic attacks and the anxiety attacks that I can get. And it's very difficult to live with it because I go through my day-to-day, smiling and bubbly and everything else, but it's one of those things that I do certain things that are completely off from the norm that make people sometimes either recognize something is off or that I probably have some sort of mental illness, and it makes it very difficult to work, to get a job, to want to get a job, to want to be encouraged, to want to be excited for things. I know, this video is very difficult for me to make. That's why I'm stuttering sometimes and also saying a lot, because it's not something I just open up about all the time. Yeah, sometimes if I'm in a chat or something, I'll explain, hey, I'm having a bad day, I feel like I'm gonna have a panic attack, can somebody calm me down, you know, and they're like, what's wrong? And I'm like, well, it's just some PTSD related things. Could you guys like try to talk to me or something so I don't have a breakdown? And sadly enough, a lot of the people that have PTSD that are either younger or haven't served, don't really get recognized as having PTSD. A lot of people think that, oh, they're just making it up, or, oh, they haven't had that much bad happen to them because they're younger and they need to grow up more and get some more experience or whatever. Personally, big warning, by the way, before I say this, yeah, just a big warning. So, personally, I was sexually abused by friends, by family. I was raped before. I was actually raped twice. I've been mentally and physically abused by friends and partners. And it's not something I enjoy talking about, but I'm trying to open up to make awareness about this because there are people fucking suffering, and there shouldn't be people suffering. When people suffer and they live by them, they live day to day, wondering, hey, what's the next day gonna be like? I don't know because I can't think straight. Or they get that just sudden urge to just lose it. And it's not fun. It's not fun at all. I don't like living day to day being miserable and not really being able to find happiness. But sometimes I find comfort in friends. Sometimes I find comfort in certain family members. I don't want to make this to make it seem like, oh, they're just talking about this because they don't have it and they're lying and they're just da-da-da. No, I want to make this as a beware, not a beware, as a think about others thing, as an awareness thing, because you need to think about others. The reason why I have my suit head on for this video is because I don't think without this personification basically of myself, I would be able to do it. I just want people to understand PTSD is a very serious thing. And if you have it, reach out to others, because that's the only way we're gonna know what's wrong. You should reach out to others, and you should just reach out to others, ask them for help. It's a very impacting thing whenever you get diagnosed with PTSD, because then it's like, oh, everything makes sense now, but now I'm going to get every single stereotype that comes along with it. And that's very difficult to deal with, especially with the stereotypes, because the stereotypes are just flat out wrong. So I just think that people need to be more aware, and they need to be more self-conscious about things, about people. And it's not something that's just, oh, they have PTSD, so I'm not gonna interact with them, or, oh, they have PTSD, so they can handle it, or whatever. there are some people that can live with PTSD and deal with it. Like me, for example, I've been dealing with my PTSD since I was super young. So I've kind of learned some coping skills to deal with it. For me, my coping skills are dancing, writing, processing my thoughts before anything, because I don't want to mess up something that I'm saying because, hey, you've got a bad thought in there, hey, it wants to come out. No, just process. Another good thing is if you do have a very, 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 very close, trusted friend that you would believe that would listen to you, I'd recommend talking to them about what's going on, what is going on mentally in your mind at that state, because that helps a lot with me, my breakdowns. But please recognize people that have PTSD. Please be respectful of them, and please understand that it's not an easy thing to just, hey, you're gonna get better, and then you cope with it. It takes a lot of time, it takes a lot of effort to learn how to understand what your full symptoms are, and to understand what it's going to be like just living with that daily. So that's just what I have to say about this subject. If you guys want to know more, I can try to leave my Telegram in the description. You can also comment on the video to ask me questions about what it's like to live with it. If you message me on Telegram, please let me know your YouTuber name, and let me know the type of question you have so I can answer that properly. Please understand I'm very slow to replying to certain questions dealing with PTSD because it is a very touchy subject for me. But we need to be aware, we need to be understanding, and we need to understand that everyone matters no matter what. So, thank you guys again for joining. Like I said, if you guys have any questions or anything, just let me know. I would be glad to answer them. Please understand I am slow because PTSD is a very hard subject for me to answer any questions on, because there's a lot that goes into it. So, yeah. Thank you guys, and please spread the awareness of PTSD in younger people, and that, you know, PTSD comes from everything. That PTSD basically comes from anything and everything that causes a lot of stress and traumatic problems. But please, again, do not self-diagnose. I was diagnosed in 2017. Do not self-diagnose. Please get yourself checked out if you think you may have PTSD, because they can help you a lot. Thank you guys so much, and bye-bye.